Hi guys, welcome back to SSA Athletics, and in this video we'll tell you how you can get into athletics, specifically if you're a parent looking for a child. Now if you want to find out more about the SSA Athletics Club itself, you can check out our website. You can also check out the Facebook pages, SSA Athletics and also SSA Training, for any more training tips that may help you particularly or your child. And of course guys, don't forget to smash subscribe, that really helps us out a lot here. Now you may yourself or your child have seen this sport on television, maybe at the Olympics, and you think to yourself, how do I get into athletics? Well, let's first answer what actually is athletics. Well, track and field athletics is basically running, jumping and throwing. They are the three core elements. How fast you can run over a short or long distance, how far or how high one can jump, or how far you can chuck an implement. Now for most people, their first experience of doing track and field athletics is most likely to happen at school. Most people informally do athletics when they're younger, especially. Oh, I'll race you to the fence, I'll race you over here. But most people's formal experience of track and field athletics is usually at school. And that's where they get introduced to the actual distances. Maybe they are shorter distances. And from there they might have experienced, you know what, I actually really like this. Where can I go and do athletics? And from there you can work your way from the school environment. So for myself, I started athletics at the age of 8. And that was only because we used to do athletics a lot at school, mainly high jump and the running events and long jump. And the Essex Youth Games people there, and they saw me and they did athletics, and then they kind of pushed me on to Southend Athletics Club, where I did most of my athletics, and then I moved around to other athletics clubs. That's how I got into athletics, and that's for people, that's most of their journey. Maybe at secondary school, maybe not as young at primary school, but at secondary school they get used to it, they run fast and they think, I want to get involved. And working your way, doing it at the school level, and then possibly working your way or finding an athletics club near you. Now you can find many athletics clubs online. You just simply have to type in athletics club in your area and you'll be able to find the nearest one. Now not everyone has a track near them that they can do track and field athletics. And there are other options. Maybe you just want to run, for instance. In which case there are many running clubs that will meet up in parks or leisure centres, that kind of thing, where you can start doing the running that way. But those clubs in particular aren't necessarily track and field orientated, although some of them will be or may be affiliated to an athletics club. So you can run for them and then compete for the athletics club. For many people this is a lot better because the tracks may not be near them, maybe they just want to do running, or in some cases there is even race walking clubs as well, or people who like doing speed walking. Many of them you might hear them by the name of joggers or runners, for instance, like Trent Park runners or Rochford runners, just an example, locally near me. That's how some people get into athletics. Now, if you are interested in getting into athletics and you're a young child, SSA, we do have athletics clubs if you're in the Southend area. So if you are interested in that, or your child's interested in that, and they're under the age of 11, check out our website or Facebook pages where they can find out information where they can do the track and field athletics. On Mondays we do 5 till 6 and 6 till 7, that's 2 session blocks. And on Wednesday we do from 5 till 6. There is also a third avenue, and a less worn down avenue. And that is doing other sports and transitioning into track and field athletics. So imagine you're, I don't know, a soccer player who decides they want to work on getting faster. And it turns out actually you are pretty fast and you actually might make it be better at doing 100 and 200 metres. That was Adam Jamili's story. And that's how he got into track and field athletics, because he was originally part of the Reading Academy. Now in America you guys might do American football and you do athletics on the side, and that kind of complements one another, and then you might decide that actually I'm not going to make it in American football, I might as well do track and field athletics, or vice versa. But talking a bit from the earlier point of view, some people actually transition from another sport. They get used to doing all these other sports, they're sometimes referred to as games players, and they work their way and they end up specialising in athletics at a much later date, usually maybe at university or late into their high school or secondary school. Now when choosing an athletics club, it's important to find right coaches. Now if you're starting and you think, yeah, I don't mind doing anything, any club will be good for you. It's about making friends and having fun. And likewise if you want to specialise as well. But generally most people go into an athletics club saying they're very good at speed or they're quite good at jumping. Okay, so we need a coach who can start off with younger ones, if they're younger, and the under 13s, and make sure that they work on their speed work, and then you might get introduced to other events, and eventually one day you might be doing 800 meters, for instance, or high jump. And it's getting that introduction from the other events into those events. Sometimes you get one athlete who stays in the same event the whole entire lifetime or their career in athletics. So the key thing is to do your due diligence and actually do some research on the athletics club itself before applying and becoming a member there. Maybe go down and just, if they allow it, to go in and actually use the track, just pay as a guest and work with that coach and decide, actually, is this the right coach for me? Kind of like a taster. And another key thing is about sampling, getting to sample all the athletics events. Don't be scared to try some of the athletics events in competitions, because you never know, you might actually be pretty good at them. So how I discovered my event, the 400 meter hurdles, is because I was doing multi-events at the time, and my coach, in my best Irish accent, going, "Adam McCarthy, you know you do in a decathlon, you know you do 400 meters, yes, and you know there's hurdles involved too." Yes, where are you going with this? You fancy doing the 400 meter hurdles? And that's how I got involved in 400 meter hurdles. I ran the 400 meter hurdles, I got a good time. Where's the little man? Where's the little man? There he goes, check it on his head. And because I really enjoyed it, that's how I got involved in 400 meter hurdles. Before I was doing multi-events, I was a 100, 200 meter sprinter, and I didn't necessarily have the straight line speed, that flat out quick speed necessarily to do that event, but I could do a 400 meter hurdles, which I was good at, and that became my event. So sampling events is important if you're getting involved in athletics and you've got time to sample events. If you're much older, the chances are you probably already know what you're likely to be good at in athletics. And if you get involved in athletics and you really enjoy it and you really want to reach the elite levels, you've got to be aware that you may not necessarily stay at one club. You may compete for 2 clubs, you may jump from club to club in order to go with the coach, or maybe to get higher up the leagues. Obviously when you go to university as well, you often will share coaches. So you'll have your main coach, which will be your university coach, and then when you come back home you'll be working back with your original coach. Unless you live in an area where there aren't many athletics clubs and you would have to go far away to another city or another part of the country, most of the times if you want to get elite you will probably have to jump coaches, because not all coaches will be right for you or your athlete. Now each country has its own resources and ways of finding clubs. I'm going to put a description down in the link. I'm going to put a link down in the description below stating athletics clubs in the UK, or where you can potentially find the nearest athletics club for you. If you are looking for an athletics club for under 11s, because there aren't any competitions really for kids under 11, and are in the Southend area, check out SSA Athletics and the description below. You can find our website and access to our Facebook pages from there. I'm Adam McCarthy of SSA Athletics. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I will see you hopefully in the next one. Bye.